All right, welcome back to the IMNerd podcast. I'm your host, Frazier. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Kenny. And today we are going to be talking about Squid Game Season 3, hopefully the last season of this show, because, spoiler alert, but it was fucking terrible. Like,
wait, hold on.
I'm sorry. It just,
So
it was not good.
coming in, right? Me and Frazier haven't talked about Squid Game.
Yep.
I don't know what Frazier's opinions are. I mean, I have a glimpse of, but I didn't know. Sometimes some of these podcast episodes can be, you don't know what you're getting into.
Right.
So like, I didn't know whether or not he liked it.
Liked it is crazy.
I watched it, and I was going to also do like a public service announcement, a PSA. I was going to do a warning to just let everybody know, if you're sitting at home and this is your favorite show that you've ever seen, you might not want to stick around, because when I tell you, I have nothing nice to say.
Yeah, like, this was not...
I have nothing nice to say.
This was not good.
So
it was really, really hard to get through. I just watched it. It literally just came out. Yeah. So I guess one of the main things that I hate it, because I don't want to say I hate something without explaining why. I noticed in this season...
we're going to explain it. We're going to explain it for fucking...
the next hour and a half.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
For 120 minutes, you're going to find out
like
why this shit was terrible.
So you know how one of the reasons why One Piece, after a certain number of episodes, became really hard to watch because of the padding. There would be...
in terms of the anime.
In terms of the anime, there became a time where One Piece would just have episodes that honestly probably moved the plot along maybe for 10 minutes, and the other 12 minutes, because Japanese anime usually runs for like 22 minutes. Yep. The other 12 minutes were literally just a replay of the last episode for the first 5 minutes. Like, yep. I'm not even like an actual replay of the last episode for 5 minutes. And then in the episode, you get a lot of staring and exposition is what they call it, where you'll see like Luffy just kind of like grilling someone, and then it'll cut to the other character grilling them back. There'll be the music track in the background and just like a panning frame. No animation is actually happening. It's just like a panning frame and music.
And none of this is like in the manga, right?
Right.
Because like the actual story, the actual manga, when it's actually happening, it's like none of this is happening. And when it happens with the anime and you get the padding and the filler, it's like just like, and then it cuts to a person who's like just doesn't have a name, and they're like explaining. They're like, oh, and then this is why. It's like, what is happening?
I felt like this season of Squid Game did a lot of padding where they didn't have a full script or something. I'm not really sure, but they just didn't. Yeah, they didn't seem to have a full script. So a lot of the time, the main character, was his name Gihan? I felt like
456.
456, you just kind of saw his face like mad the entire... He was just like so fucking sour the whole season. Now, not for nothing, I get it. You know, you came back into the games for some dumb fucking reason. The more I think about the storyline, the more I hate it.
The writing's bad. The writing is just... So here's the thing. I don't like it for a lot of reasons. At the end of the day, what's the main reason you don't like a story is if the story's bad, right? So the writing, what was told, what happened is really bad. Now, that said, there's different kinds of stories and different kinds of writing. For this, it was bad in every aspect. Like, I think the story is bad, the plot was bad, the motivations were bad, the characters were bad, the acting is bad, specifically on the VIPs. The acting on most of the regular characters, I think, was fine. The VIPs?
They were like Power Rangers. They were like Power Ranger actors.
I hope they never get hired again. I don't want to see them working anywhere but fucking Walmart. Okay.
Damn.
I don't want them to have a job. They were terrible. Their acting was so
for no reason either.
Bad.
They didn't need to be that bad. Like, I get you might not be like a renowned actor, but these people, I think, were extras off the street. Like, they weren't even trained actors in any capacity. These people have never acted in another role in their entire lives.
They could have took whatever budget they used to get fucking Kate Blanchett in the last 2 seconds. They could have took that budget and got like the next level up for the actors, for the VIPs, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand.
They were like F-tier actors, you know? They could have gave us some E-tier actors.
Yeah, the acting was really bad, but in general, I feel like Asian dramas don't have good acting. So I'm kind of used to that. When I come into Squid Game, I'll say that none of the season's acting were particularly good, if I'm being completely honest. The only characters who I think did like somewhat of a good job acting, I think the main character in the first season was pretty well done. And I think Ilnam from the first season was pretty well done. Yeah. Outside of that, and maybe the front man too.
I was going to say Inho, I think his name, the front man.
Yep,
especially in season 2. So that's the other thing is we'll reference, I guess, all of Squid Game.
Yeah, because this is it. I'm never watching Squid Game. Like, I'm so good on Squid Game. For if they come out with another season, I'm so good, and I can already see they're trying
to. Squid Game America's happening.
Well, they're trying to line up for a fucking English or American Squid Game. That just sounds like it's going to be awful too. If I'm being honest, like unless they put actual recognizable people into that one, I just don't have any interest in it at all.
I'll tell you what, I laughed pretty hard because, like, there's a couple things that are interesting, and especially when you consider the cultures. But one thing that I thought was funny at the end when, like, the blonde lady was just smacked some homeless guy, I was like, I need them to realize that America has guns.
Yep.
And, like, some of y'all will get shot.
Yeah, you get smoked.
People like that.
You will just get fucking smoked.
You can't slap people like that in America.
You also can't put food in front of a homeless person in America and then stomp on it after you tease them that they don't get it. Like, I promise you that will not end well, especially for some random woman in a business suit, like in an alleyway too. That entire thing was just unrealistic. Like, everything about that. Now, granted, we're watching a show about a fucking deaf game, so suspension of disbelief is already there. But, like, yeah, when they bring it to America, there needs to be at least one scene where somebody tries, like, somebody who's a recruiter for the games tries to pull some nut shit like that, where they play with a homeless person and they're like taunting them with a sandwich, and then they step on the sandwich and stomp on it and dance on it like they did in Squid Game, and then that homeless person beats the living shit out of them.
Yeah.
In the alleyway.
I'll tell you what, they're not doing that in Inglewood, all right?
No.
They ain't doing that. The Squid Game in America, like, they're going to have to avoid
so many areas.
A lot of neighborhoods.
Yeah, there's just a lot of places they cannot go. So, yeah. But acting pretty bad overall, like in Squid Game. Every character that's not, I guess, the main characters, like the main, and I mean, when I say main, I mean like literally
the main.
Yeah, the front man, Gihan, Ilnam, like pretty much it. Everybody else is really like the one shaman lady. She's really funny.
She was
she's awful. Like, she's awful. Her scenes are so comedically bad. There was one point where the whole group is like, "Oh, we trust in you. We're sorry for like rushing you. Please, I'll do whatever you say." While they're playing hide and seek, and there are literally murderers walking around, and they stopped in this hallway, and they stopped at an intersection, mind you. They didn't even stop at like in a room where you opened up the door and maybe you're hiding behind the door. They stopped at an intersection with 4 different fucking routes. So if a person just happens to walk by and see this big ass group there arguing about what direction to take, and the shaman is like, "Oh, I gotta wait. I don't go by sight. I go by like woo magic bullshit." That entire thing was so comedically bad, and I
laughed
didn't like it
so hard. It was like one of those things, like, it was obviously written to be funny, and like, if you want to give them a point for this, then I laughed. But the scene where she's like, I found the exit. She goes in the door, and then you see her back out of the door and run away, and then like a bunch of red shirts come out and just start murdering people.
Yeah.
I fucking laughed so hard at that because she was out of there. She got all the way the fuck out. But ass and dude, it was so bad though. Like, everything was so. First of all, like, here's the thing. I'm not gonna like Frazier said earlier. I'm not gonna just say over and over it was bad. So I'm gonna explain why it's bad, and then also say it's bad. So first of all, just to go back to season 1, I think season 1 overall was a really good show.
Same.
I enjoyed it. I know Frazier enjoyed it, and the rest of the world enjoyed it. It became a phenomenon for a reason, right? I'm not saying it's the greatest written show of all time, but season 1 was a good show. It had believable writing, believable characters, some believable situations, and some believable reactions. Obviously, some stuff was a little over the top. Some stuff was a little like, oh, I don't know, but it's a show. It's fine. Then you get to the end of season 1, and we had an issue with this when we saw it. Everything was like perfect. And then like the last 2 minutes is him like, I'm going back. Yeah. And like, he's going to like have his revenge, right?
And he had his hair dyed red, which still... I don't get it. That whole thing was random. But if that was like one of the strikes against season 1, then sure, because it's not as egregious as season. I think season 3 in particular is really bad. I think so. Season 3 is abysmal, like abysmal.
So the problem is when you put all that into perspective, because like he did all this stuff, he was in debt, he had a bunch of money he owed. He ends up winning billions of dollars, right?
Whatever it is.
And he has an opportunity when he gets out of the game. His mom's dead, and he has like this regret that he didn't get to spend time with his mom, and how he was a bad son to his mom, and all this other stuff, and just like family in general. And then he also thinks about his daughter, and then he's about to go. He's been out of his daughter's life, etc. He's about to get on a plane, go to America, be with his daughter. He's now a millionaire or a billionaire, whatever. So like his life has turned around, but then he decides for whatever reason that he's going to like get revenge and put an end to the games and all this other crazy bad writing nonsense. That on its own maybe isn't necessarily bad writing, but then where it goes, season 2 and season 3, by the way, I consider to be the same season.
Me too. I didn't know that it was called season 3 until I tried to find on the open seas where to download it. And I thought it was going to be like episodes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And instead it was like season 3. So I kept saying, why is this saying season 3? Isn't this just season 2, part 2?
It's just season 2, part 2. It's only been, I think, 6 months.
It has been literally 6 months. You're 100% right.
So like this is very clearly part 2 of season 2, right? Like this is one of those situations where like the Attack on Titan naming scheme works.
Yeah.
Like you should have called the season 2 part 2, but whatever.
Yeah, it's weird, right? We're now advocating for what we fought against literally for years. We're literally advocating for it. But I will say, in our defense, this season literally picked up where the last one ended.
Yeah. And the last season wasn't the end of like, okay, you know, a sentence, you put a period at the end of a sentence because it's supposed to be a complete thought.
Yep.
Like the last season was a comma. It wasn't a period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
starting this season, we're picking up where that sentence left off. But anyway, the problem is when you go into season 2 and season 3, first of all, nothing happens. There's no actual resolution. There's no actual point to anything. At the end of the day, they position themselves to tell a grander story, a bigger story. They positioned it to be bigger than just like a death game, more than just games. It was like an extension to the plot. He had a goal. He had things he needed to achieve and things he wanted to do. None of that happened. He barely even attempted to do the things that he was trying to do. He didn't really have any self-preservation to go back home to his daughter.
That doesn't make sense because I know you're going through a lot of different things, and I kind of want to start touching on some of this stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like that you're laying out an outline, but I do want to, because there's so many things I want to comment on. Self-preservation. I just don't believe that a human with a child that they love and care for, and that they didn't really get to see at the end of season 1, who's returned to this fucking game in season 2 to dismantle the games, which he does not accomplish at all, not even in death. He does not accomplish this. The games are continuing. They still are going on. So
not only did he not accomplish it, he chooses the wrong way to accomplish it every fucking time.
Yeah.
Every chance he has to accomplish this goal, he does it. He makes the worst decision.
I think self-preservation just was completely lost. There is no real human being in the world, because the whole thing is that like humans are not horses. Well, humans also aren't fucking ridiculous. Like, you're just not going to find a person that is going to jump off of a, 70-story pole to kill themselves so that a baby that was literally just born yesterday could survive with millions and millions and millions of dollars. That's just not a real thing. You have no actual connection to this child. You have your own child, bro. You have, like, if he was someone who genuinely didn't have anything to live for, I could totally get it. But he doesn't accomplish, I think that he could do more work being alive and going outside into the real world and telling people, spreading awareness. By him dying and the island getting blown up, effectively, this entire thing can continue to go on because no one knows about it.
No one knows about it. And here's there's multiple parts, because like what you're touching on at the very end is crazy, but then there's so many things that were done wrong before you even get there. So I don't believe that all 400 plus of these people, I don't believe that more than half of them are consistently going to vote to stay in this game after they know that they're going to die.
We said this in the season 2 episode as well. Yeah. I do not believe that after some of these games you see this shit happen. I just don't believe that you guys are continuing. I do not think that people are going to continue to vote yes. I know gambling addiction is real. I know that there are people who are savages. I'm friends with some of them. They are not. You're gambling with your life. It is so unreasonable to say that more than half are always going to vote to stay in the games.
And then it gets more insane. So there's a couple, and we'll jump around. There's a couple other parts, but as it keeps going, they keep voting to stay in the games. It gets to the point where they're all millionaires. They can just say no and leave, and they all leave with $1 million.
Millions of dollars, to be clear. I kept doing conversions when they would mention the amount. I would pull up Google, and what's funny is that Google knows that we're all watching Squid Game right now. Like, it just knows. So when you start typing in, as soon as I put in, I think the second number, it would say Korean won to USD immediately without me having to like fully type in anything. And then it would just say like, this is worth $3 million. Like right now they're at $3 million. Right now they're at $6 million. So I was like, okay, so this is, what are we doing?
So here's what's so funny. So I think one of the pivotal moments, I think a lot of the voting is stupid, but where it becomes unforgivably stupid to me is when the baby gets involved.
Yeah.
The baby's born, and once it becomes the baby's here and we can vote to leave. If we leave, we have $6 million each. We can leave, or we can stay in and kill a baby. I truly do not believe, even the dregs of society, they aren't going to vote to kill this baby. They're not going to just, because they were all like, yo, kill that baby. Let's start killing this baby.
So out of hand, Kenny.
And look, here's the thing. If the option was,
it got so out of hand.
If the option was this, right? You could either die or live by killing the baby. I think a lot of people might end up choosing kill the baby to live. But that wasn't the vote. The vote was...
I think almost everyone's killing the baby. I'm killing the baby. I want to make that clear, too, real quick. I just want to make it clear. If it was up to me, the person speaking right now, Frazier Smith, if a fucking newborn stood in between me, $45 million or however, I don't know how much they get at the end, but let's just say it's $45 million. If and my life, I want to be very, very clear here. I want you to hear me loud and clear, people listening to this. If my life is on the line, and the only thing standing in between my life and $45 million on the other end, like my self-preservation and $45 million, the baby is getting dropped. And it's not even a thought. Yeah, I'm dropping the baby, bro. I'm dropping the baby.
And I agree with that. The thing is, the vote was, hey, you can leave right now. No danger to your life. You get $6 million each.
Baby gets to live.
And the baby lives. Or... you can stay in this game, potentially die, maybe get more money, and you have to kill a baby.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody does that.
I'm not rolling with that. I'm not doing
the option
that.
Isn't like the option.
They
isn't
didn't have to kill the baby to live. They didn't have to kill the baby until the end.
I get to let the baby live, and I get $6 million. And here's the thing. Here's what I immediately thought of. Spoilers for Attack on Titan. I know most of you have seen Attack on Titan, but one of the most beautiful scenes near the end of Attack on Titan is when the rumbling is happening and there's a bunch of humanity at this cliff, and they're falling off this cliff, and the people are just like, there's a baby, and the people are doing everything to keep the baby from falling. Like no one knows who this baby is. That baby's parents are long dead at this point. They fell off the cliff. And as like humans are being pushed off the cliff and just falling to their death, they're holding this baby in the air and keeping the baby by moving it forward, trying to keep the baby alive. And that, I think, is such a realistic take on humanity and what they would do in that situation. And on the adverse of that, I don't think 10 people who were being offered millions of dollars each would then choose to kill a baby for another $1 million. I just don't think that's realistic in any fucking universe.
Also, I'm so tired of the lame and really sloppy, lazy excuse of writing that they did where everyone's debt is so much higher than the amount that they're currently at, splitting it. Like, okay, when they got to 9 people, which is the last game, there's 9 of them. I don't understand how does everyone not get a piece of the pie that eclipses their debt by now? There are 9, bro. There's 9 people left. Like, how much debt do you all? You 9 happen to just have so much fucking debt that when you pay it off, you're back to being broke. If you split it 9 ways, like that's
crazy.
And also, I want to do some math here. So the baby, I get it. Once you add the baby into the equation as a player, which is just so ridiculous that the baby got added as a player. But once you add the baby as a player, the baby extracts some from all 9 of you or whatever, which is like, honestly, when you're splitting it that way, it's not actually that much fucking money in the grand scheme of things. It is so outrageously irrational to be like, I'm not giving that baby $90K each. Like, Kenny, if you were like, Frazier, you'll leave with $6 million, but $90K of it will go to the baby or whatever it is, whatever the split is. If the baby's taking 300,000 out of my 6 million, so that way now we all go down to 5,700,000 and the baby ends up getting a split too. Like, you're not telling me that is enough to continue this game and murder the baby.
Also, Gihan 456, he still has millions and millions of dollars,
which he just,
like, his money isn't gone. He could just easily go, okay, guys, listen.
I won the first one.
I have all this money.
The cat's out the bag.
I already won the last game. I will just fucking give it to you.
Yes.
I'll just give you, like, you're going to have so much money. We leave. We all fucking live. The baby's alive. He doesn't mention to anybody that he has millions of dollars.
I'm still savagely rich. I did not spend my money on anything because I've been depressed for the last fucking several years. Like, this entire thing just doesn't make sense, especially from a self-preservation standpoint. And I brought this up in the last episode because I don't believe that when people are gambling with their lives that they are going to be so adamant to continue the games. I do not believe that. I think that some people absolutely would. I think that most people absolutely would not. The second you see some of these games are so unhinged, like, I still go back to the bridge game from season 1 that was literally a fucking 50-50.
Which just wasn't a game, too.
It wasn't a game. That wasn't a game. And then I go back to the other games, like, one of the best games, I think, and I want to talk about this as well. The games in this season were bad. All 3 of them. All 3 games in the season, they're not memorable. No one's going to remember. No one's going to remember the Squid Game season 3 games. Season 1, the iconic red light, green light, the cookie thing where you have to carve into it.
Yep.
And then season 2 with the one where you have to go into the room with they say 4 players. So now you have to find 3 other people to go into a room. And if you don't make it into a room with the exact number of people, you all die. Those games were fucking iconic. And also the one game where, like, it was at this in the season 1 where it was just 3 of them and they're eating an amazing steak and lobster dinner. And then they all have, like, these really sharp steak knives. And they're like, this is the second to the last game. One of you just has to die. Those are like, they're iconic games. They're memorable games. The Bridge, obviously, like you said, it's not really a game, but for the sake of Squid Game, it's a game.
It's memorable.
It's fucking memorable. Season 3's games are not memorable. We can talk about that later. But, like, I just don't believe that when you're gambling with your actual life, after seeing how unreal some of these games, some of the games are just unreasonably bad. Like, they're unreasonable.
We can also talk about the fact that, like, season 1, like, essentially in these 2 seasons, there was the same amount of games as the 1 season of season 1.
Which made these 2 seasons not feel as good because there's less games. And we're watching it for the games.
Out. Yeah, it's so drawn out, it's so padded, it's so long. If somebody told you, right, when I watched the season, we got to the last episode when they finally find if somebody told you while you were watching season 2, episode 3 or 2, when the boat story started and them looking for the island, if someone told you, hey, that boat doesn't find the island until the last 30 minutes of the last episode, like, what would your reaction be? That boat plot goes for the entirety of season 2 and season 3. Nothing happens for the whole boat plot. And when he gets there at the end of the last episode, the island's blowing up and he has to leave. Like, nothing fucking happens for the entirety of the boat plot.
And they spend so much time on the boat plot, and it is one of the worst plots I've ever seen in a show. It's one of the worst plots I've ever seen in a show. I know people shit on, like, the Doran plot in Game of Thrones. It's not even close. I will watch Doran over and over again. First of all, the Sand Snakes are fucking hot. Let's start there, okay? Mm-hmm. And Bronn, I think this is his name, the sellsword guy, he was fucking hilarious over there. He's awesome. He was so funny when he said, brothers, oh brothers, my days here are done. The Dornishman's taking my life. But what does it matter? For all men must die. And I've tasted the Dornishman's wife. I've tasted the Dornishman's wife. Like, you don't get that.
I wanted to join in and sing with you, but I knew when you try to sing with each other on Discord,
it's not
when you
synced.
Actually listen to it, it is never synced. Even if it sounds synced to me, it's not synced. So I just didn't join in, but I enjoyed it.
That song alone makes the Dornish plot in Game of Thrones. Look at us finding a way to mention Game of Thrones in every episode. But I just think there's no way the boat plot is so bad in Squid Game season 2 and 3. And the fact that it goes through the entirety of both seasons, it's a through line, and nothing actually comes up. He finds the island and the island blows up.
And then here's the thing, right? He achieves nothing. Like, he achieved more in season 1 than he achieved in these 2 seasons. In season 1, that cop makes it to the island, sneaks around the island, finds the records room. He does all kinds of shit on the island in season 1. He gets there. He does shit. He meets his brother. He never sees his brother face to face this season. Like, his whole plot was finding his brother, like, figuring out what was going on with his brother, finding his brother, helping dismantle the games, bringing an end to all of this, be the detective, etc. He does not. He is in the same position at the end of season 3 that he was in the end of season 1. He has gained nothing. Nothing has been achieved at all. He like there's been no progress.
What is
his brother?
His brother walks off with the baby, and he yells at him from a distance, and then his brother just like presses a button and disappears. And then like also the baby and this character have no connection. Like, why does the baby get sent to him? Like, why does he now have to raise this baby? Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Him and this baby have no like plot connection. There's no story thread tying these two together.
Killing yourself and not even knowing what they're going to do to the fucking baby when you're dead doesn't make any logical sense.
You left the baby with the worst people on the planet.
You left it with actual fucking rapists.
Like villains. Just
like actual... I want to use such descriptive language right now, but I'm going to refrain from doing so. But you left the baby with the worst kind of humans on the planet.
Also, the point... There's so many things. So, first of all, his point, the whole, like, when you get to the end there, is that, like, proving that, like, humans are good, or you can have faith in humanity. He doesn't prove that, by the way, because they're all dead. Also, another thing is, like, he wants to save people. He saved no one. There are, in fact, so if you think...
456 players died.
So, the games always have one winner, right? At minimum one winner, the games have. So, him being there... Like, there was still one survivor, and it wasn't even a person that entered the game.
No,
all
456 players died.
Every entrant died. They all died. So he saved no one. Not a single person was saved. So, and he didn't get anybody to do anything great for anybody. So, like, he didn't prove that humanity was, like, good or whatever. The only person that was, like, on that mission was him, and I guess he proved it by killing himself, I guess.
Also, humanity just isn't good, though. Like, that's the other thing. This whole moral high ground that Gihan is on the entire thing is kind of bullshit. You can tell humanity's not good when 9 niggas had the choice to save a baby or murder a baby, and they chose to murder the baby.
Yeah.
Humanity is shit.
He gets the option, right? He gets the option to kill all of the people left, and then him and the baby get to ride off into the sunset. He decides not to do it because of, like, whatever morality thing that comes to him. Like, it's just not moral, it's not okay. Mind you, just remember, an episode or two ago, with him, Gihan 456, he killed a man. Why did he kill that person? He killed him because he was scared. I understand that guy, but that guy, he got scared. He got, like, fight or flight. He decided to flight. He couldn't come back with the ammo. He was scared. By the way, your plan was horrible to begin with.
It was always bad.
Trying to do that plan to begin with was horrible. So it's your fault for trying to do that plan. You get mad at this guy because, like, he didn't come back. He was fucking pissing himself scared. And then so you killed him. You happily fucking killed him. But now you can't kill 9 people that are just worse people. 9 people that want to kill babies. You can't kill any of them. And then they all fucking died anyway.
The one fat old guy who was just a absolute menace. Like, he made it to that final 9, and I was like, I cannot wait to see him die. I cannot wait to see this fat old fuck die. I'm so serious. That guy, when he closed the door on his one partner, like, remember when they were like, okay, we need all the different keys?
Yep.
And then, like, a red person ran in the room. Like,
he closed the door so fast.
One red person ran up on 2 of y'all, and you just immediately folded. Closed the door, my man. Let him get stabbed all up in the back, and then held the door closed.
Yep. He was crazy.
Bro, I hated him. I hated him so much. He was the ringleader of the 9 too at the end.
Yeah.
Like, he was. I was like, why don't they just vote his dumb ass out? Vote his old fat ass out. Get him out.
Yeah, everybody was following him, and like, he was the most compromised. The thing is, nobody has any, like, self-thought in this entire... There's no writing for anybody to have their own brain.
Yeah.
He was the most compromised because he was the one that was he was like $100 million in debt. Because, like, he owned a company and, like, fucked his company up. He was, like, millions and millions of dollars in debt. So he was, like, the one with the most debt. So he was the most compromised, and he was the one convincing all of these people. Like, everybody else could have been good, but he was like, I'm not good yet. And he's like, was able to convince
that
all of
baby,
these idiots.
That you mean to tell me that baby gets X amount of money, and if I die, my kids don't get anything right now, so that baby doesn't deserve a single thing. I say we killed the baby, and, like, they just all looked at him and was like, yeah, fucking kill the baby. And I'm like, what? Push him off, right? Like, literally, the second he would have said that, I'd have been like, yo, push that nigga off.
Push him.
Push him off right now. Just because you said that.
He already, like, darkened his morality by killing a kid. Like, he killed a guy.
Yeah, that was a kid,
too. And the guy
he
killed was, like, he was just a scared kid,
man. He was like 23 years old. Like, he literally killed the fucking child.
He was just a scared fucking kid, and he killed him. But he can't kill, like, these villains. And then so, like, and it leads to just everybody dying anyway. And
I hate it. I want to say this too. I really hate how perfectly bad everything lined up at the end with the number of people that died on each pillar. I thought that shit was so contrived. I really don't like, so going into it, 1 second. I really don't like how 9 people entered the last game. And they were like, every round, you guys get to decide who moves on. One person just has to get eliminated. That's all. Like, it's really simple. It's not a hard game to comprehend. One person has to die each time. There are 9 of you. There's no reason that by the end of it, there should be fucking 2 people. There's no reason. Somehow, some way, with the worst writing I've ever seen in my life and the worst fight choreography too, by the way. Like, I don't know why Squid Game decided to get into fight choreography, but it was fucking terrible. But like, 9 people are going in, and basically one person needs to be eliminated per round. I don't think, like, even if it played out realistically, I could see more than one person going each round. I don't see it ever being coincidentally 6 people go before the last 2 rounds. So now you end up in a situation where only one person is going to win because you need a person's life to be sacrificed for the next 2 rounds. And basically in the first, and essentially in like the first round, everyone but 3 people dies. The baby, the main character, and the baby's dad are the only ones left. And I was like, wow, that just, like, what are the odds that you don't have 1 sacrificial lamb, 2 sacrificial lambs to move on?
They even do the thing where, like, and I laughed at this, I thought it was so funny. They did the thing where they made a lunchbox, calling a human a fucking lunchbox to bring into the next round is diabolical. Yeah,
crazy.
They made a lunchbox, and then, like, he ended up killing himself. But, like, what's crazy to me is that they go and they fucking, because all that's left at one point, they kill like everyone. All that's left is like main character, baby's dad, lunchbox, and old man. They're the only ones that are left. And then baby's dad goes crazy and like kills the old man. And the old man wasn't trying to fight them. So they could have easily been like, okay, they could have like easily just been like, all right, let's go to the next one. They bring the lunchbox, and then they could have killed the old man because
this lunchbox
it's getting you, right? It's
too much.
Bro, I couldn't handle lunchbox. It was
bring
crazy.
The lunchbox is so fucking crazy. When I know you're talking about a beaten, when I know you're talking about a beaten human, like you're talking about a beaten and battered human, and you're like, they could have easily brung the lunchbox. Like, what the fuck are you on about?
But somehow, all they have left is an old man that doesn't want to fight, and a lunchbox, and then main character, baby dad, right? Baby dad kills the old man when he didn't want to fight. You could have just brought him to the next room, the next thing, and then you could have killed him there, and because then what ended up happening is they weren't paying attention to the lunchbox. He was like, I'm not going to be your sacrifice. And so lunchbox kills himself. So now you're down to nobody. If you just like brought them over, you can kill. And then, so, okay, everything goes wrong. All right. So during your fight, none of you decided, I'm going to go hit this fucking button real quick. Yeah. Like, I would have got punched in the back of the head to go hit this button. All right.
Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah, that entire last game in particular, I think, was written so contrived. It just had to end so perfectly where it's Gi-hun and a baby are the only 2. I was like, wow, the baby dad ends up falling off a fucking cliff and holding on, which, like, what? You don't need the cliffhanger, literally. Like, you don't need the cliffhanger with him. There's no reason to have him hanging on to a suit jacket, bro. I've noticed that there was just a lot of padding in the season that didn't need to be there.
A ton of padding. Every time they voted, it was padding.
The voting, Jesus Christ. And again, I know I've been saying this a lot, beating a dead horse, but like season 2, we kept bringing up so much of season 2 was just voting. Mm-hmm. So much time in season 2 was just voting.
I truly fucking believe there's a scene with the VIPs where the VIPs go, oh boy, the voting was so exciting. I'm so happy we got to watch the voting.
Yeah.
It was so good. And I truly believe they added that line in like after season 2's reception. Yeah. Like, I truly think
like poking fun of themselves.
No, not even poking fun. I think they were trying to like get like Jedi mind trick people into thinking the voting was exciting. I think everybody didn't enjoy the voting, and they try to Jedi mind trick you into being like, "Ooh, the voting's exciting! I can't wait to watch more voting." That's a tough
sell. That shit is a tough sell because the voting was cringe as hell in season 2, and there was so much of. I think there was like 7 rounds of voting in season 2. This season, because it had less games, there was way less voting in the season, but still too much in my opinion. But yeah, just way too contrived. So let's get into the games themselves because there's only 3, right? There was the jump rope game. there's hide and seek, and then there's the pillars. If I'm missing a game, let me know. But I believe that there were 3 games in 6 episodes.
I think that's it. All I can remember.
And if you think about season 1, there was like tug of war, there was the marbles, there was the fucking red light, green light, there's the carving, there was the steak dinner, there's the actual last Squid Game where you just beat each other to death. Like the bridge. So you're up to 7 now on your fingers, and I think I'm missing one. So season 1 had so many games, and seasons 2 and 3 had like 3 games each. I think season 2 might have had 4 games, and season 3 just had 3 games. The jump rope, the hide and seek, and the pillars. That was literally it. 3 games is crazy. I do not watch Squid Game.
Yeah.
I do not watch Squid Game because it's doing such a great job with the storyline. I don't watch it because it's doing such a great job with the plot. I watch it because watching people struggle to get through these fucking games and how they're going to get through these games is really good TV.
I have a friend that's like, and I have a friend that's basically like, oh man, like I loved it, like it was really good, right? He enjoyed it.
He wants attention.
And he was like, I like Squid Game. I watch Squid Game because for like the games, like I want to see like the crazy games and stuff. Like I'm not necessarily interested in like whether or not the plot is super deep. My response to that is that they tried to write a deep plot.
They
like
did.
there weren't that many games. Like if it was literally just more games and more death game style shit, if it was just Hunger Games, Squid Game season 1, then I could just watch it and have fun with it. Like
because we didn't even have fun.
Yeah, nobody looks at Solo Leveling and they're like, this is the peak greatest manga ever written. Yeah, it's just fun to watch, right?
Exactly.
If I got something that was fun to watch and I wasn't bored out of my fucking mind, I would have had fun. Yeah. I didn't have fun. I was bored.
Yeah, it was really bad. The lack of games makes you really have to pay attention to how bad the writing is.
Yeah, yes.
I think the games do a good job of covering up any lack thereof of good writers. They just didn't have good writers. And so more games would have made it like, yo, that part was fucking wild to me. But I don't even have that to say because not only were there not that many games, these games just sucked.
Also, I don't think I would have lost a single game.
Me either.
Like, part of the fun of watching shows like this is being like, I would have lost. I would have died. Or like
putting
compared
yourself
to
in
Saul, right? Part of the fun of Saul is like, I could have got out of that. Yes. I would have never got out of that.
Yes.
I think all 3 of these games I would have cleared, especially jump rope. They were acting a fool.
Yo, Kenny,
I was like, this isn't even
anything. This isn't even anything.
Like 12 minutes passed before anybody did anything. I was like, y'all are acting a whole fool. And then I called it while I was watching it. I was like, watch. Like when time gets lower, they're going to say the rope is moving faster. And so they wasted 12 minutes of that rope moving slow. And then when there was like 5 minutes left, they're like, the rope is speeding up. I was like, no fucking shit, it's speeding up.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Yo, at the beginning, it was moving so outrageously slow. I couldn't believe that somebody didn't just say like, all right, I'll go.
I could have cleared it in like 3 jumps.
I was thinking the same thing. I would have
jump. Like I could have cleared that shit.
Yeah.
Cleared it. That would have been so easy.
That would have never gotten me. And I'm not even a jump rope kind of guy, but I just looked at the situation. I was like, all right, sure. Yeah. There's definitely some anxiety, but don't forget.
Yo, they cannot do the jump rope game in America. Them black girls are going to move through it.
Oh, they're going to be challenge 1 and 2 and 3 and stop the roaches up the ladder. Like they're going to be doing literally tricks on it. Literally tricks on it. You cannot bring jump rope to the hood at all. Yeah, I was like, a way to give the jump rope competition to a bunch of fucking Koreans, right? Like there's no other group of people I've ever seen be scared of jump rope. I've never seen another demographic of people be scared of jump rope before. That was insane to me. They waited 12 minutes to move, and it was moving so slow. I was like, are we looking at the same jump rope? Like maybe it's faster in person. I was like, what's going on here?
Man. It's crazy.
It also had a rhythm to it. So like, you know, I mean, this could be because me and you we're gamers. We're like devout gamers. So this just wouldn't have been hard on any level because we are just gamers. No. Like the rhythm of that jump rope in the first 10 minutes was so slow.
Yeah.
Like you said, 3 jumps. I think I would have cleared it in 3. I would have been running. I would have jumped over the gap. I would have jumped, and I'm there.
Yep. It would have been so easy. And then, like, once again, like, you have fucking Gi-hoon just making bad decisions because he gets there and then a guy gets there. And that guy starts throwing people off.
So wild.
And Gi-hoon starts arguing with them, which is wasting time. When he's trying to save a woman and a baby, he's arguing with them, wasting time. This guy's already killed people. You watched him kill people.
With his back turned to you, by the way.
And Ki-hoon, you have already killed someone. You killed a kid. So you've already killed someone. Now you have a villain in front of you killing people, wasting time, and he's putting you in a position where you're not going to be able to save a mother and the baby that you care about. And his back is to you, and you argue, just fucking throw, like, because this guy's not a good guy. He's not gonna do anything good in the next phase. He's not gonna vote to leave.
Like, what is his life?
This is a bad guy.
Yeah. In the next game, do you trust this guy?
Fucking kill him. Yeah, you're not going to trust this guy in any game. Just fucking push his ass off, let the people through, and let's move the fuck on. This is crazy.
That was crazy. And I guess this is going back to your point. I didn't know what you meant when you said he chooses the worst possible way to try to save people. Because like, I didn't even get that deep into it because I honestly watched this at 1.25 times speed every episode. And I can't even say that like my attention span was all the way there because I just really, really hated how bad this season was. So it was really hard for me to pay attention and focus. Obviously, I saw every episode. I saw everything that happened. I saw the exact parts you're talking about. But I'm glad that you elaborated now on like what you meant by he started choosing the worst ways to save. Like if his goal was to save people and like end the games and all this other bullshit, cause a revolution, this moral high ground. 1, you went in, you end up killing a kid. 2, a guy is literally killing people on the bridge. You let him just do that, and you're trying to save a baby and someone else across who was the mom of this baby who has a sprained wrist or sprained ankle, and like you're just watching this man brutally murder people, and the people who are on the bridge are also going to die if they don't like keep up with the rhythm. God knows what else tricks and shit is going to go into
there's
it.
There's 13 people standing on this bridge that have to jump over and over again that are getting tired.
Yes,
because they're doing like fucking 50 jumps.
Eventually it will become a problem, right? Like if you stay on it for a fucking hour, eventually, yes, it will become a problem.
And people are dying behind, like as you and this guy are arguing because he's throwing people off as they get to the end. People are fucking dying. Like you're watching people die behind you. And it kind of runs into the Batman dilemma where people are like, Batman should just kill the Joker because think of all the people that Batman is like indirectly responsible for killing for not killing the Joker.
Right.
The difference is Batman doesn't kill anyone. And Batman knows that if he kills someone, if he crosses that line, he'll be no better and he won't be able to stop killing. Batman knows that. So the reason why he doesn't kill the Joker is because if he does, he won't be able to stop himself from just killing. Like once you do
open that door, Pandora's box.
It,
yes, Pandora's box.
Yeah, he can't. Batman knows he can't close that door again. Gi-hun has killed. He killed a child. He, with his own hands, he killed someone, and now his goal is to save people. So people are dying as he's arguing with somebody who's killed 7 people already. It's like, just fucking kill him, move on, because you're letting the people on the bridge die, and you're wasting time to save the baby and the mom. Like, you're just letting more and more and more people die every time you make a decision. It's fucking crazy.
I hated it. I hated that entire thing. I'm glad you put some more light onto it. I hated that entire scene. When that guy was killing people, I was like, oh, just push him immediately. Like,
yeah, just Sparta kick his back and move on.
Like, the guy, comic book villain, turned around and smiled.
Yep.
It was so like, he look at what I'm doing. And then went back to doing it. I was like, are you fucking crazy? Like, obviously you're fucking crazy. I'm going to just kick you off the damn platform. Like, yo, that guy was tripping.
Yep. There's nothing to prove there. Like, you just kill him, move on. Like, you've already killed people. I
hated his inability to act throughout the whole season. Now you made me realize, or not realize, you made me remember that this entire first 4 episodes, I want to say, he was inactive. Every time he had to do something, he would just freeze up and not be able to do what he was supposed to do. I thought he was going to fail the hide and seek. The very first game, hide and seek, I was like, oh, he's going to fail. He's going to fail because every time he had an opportunity to do something, a person would be like, please don't kill me. I have a kid at home and I have a sick wife. And then he would just stop. And then a person would just squirm away and run. And then he would find someone else in a situation that he could easily just shank them. And then he would just be in it. He was so inactive in every single challenge. Then a jump rope happened and he was inactive in that too. I was like, what's wrong?
And then just to jump to another thing that I think was horrible. Drugs are magic apparently. So in season 2, I wasn't a big fan of Thanos.
I love that character. He's the only reason I think that season was bearable.
And his little drug thing, he dies. And then his little lackey gets the drugs, and then he does this whole season with the drugs, and then the other guy that was getting bullied gets the drugs. And here's where it's crazy:
there's quiet introvert kid who doesn't do anything.
There's 2 pills left. He does the 2 drugs. From there, he is a drug addict for the rest of the time being, and he's going through withdrawal. And the other characters are saying he's a drug addict. I was like, this is not accurate. He's having withdrawal symptoms. He did 2 pills. He's having withdrawal symptoms, and he's having like he already sobered up, and he's still like hallucinating off the fucking drugs that he took 2 days ago. Like the drugs were like this magical plot device that caused him to have all these random shit.
And then caused the introverted kid to be like Superman.
And it's like, bro, what are we talking about?
Like, didn't he end up killing the shaman? The introverted kid who, like, he ended up getting the drugs?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he killed the shaman.
He ended up killing the shaman lady, which, you know, I didn't like her character, but I didn't see why she had to get stabbed by the introverted kid. Like, that just seems really random. But he was seeing her as the other guy.
Yeah.
So that was their way of... That's another thing. The way they would kill off characters that... So, okay, the last 9 were no names except the fat, annoying guy. They were no names except him. I thought they should have at least at the end had the people who like have real characters. The shaman is a real character. The trans person is a real character. Obviously the baby mom is a real character. The baby father is a real character. The introverted kid who like literally hid when the night thing happened and they started murdering people at night, and he just kind of stayed at the top bunk and watched it happen. Like he watched that go.
The old mom is a real character. Her son is a real character.
Yeah, those two.
They killed all of these people before the end.
Yeah, so the end, you're going into it, I was like, I don't really know the people in the end. Like, I was looking at their faces, I was like, I don't really fucking know these people. They didn't have, like, major roles or any like, thing that distinguishes them from just being character B, C, D, and E.
Yep.
They really gave me, like, NPC energy, except, again, the fat guy who was... And you could tell the fat guy was the only one who was a real character because he was running the whole show.
He ran he did it, yeah. He was, like, the leader.
If you had the shaman, the trans person... the fucking the mom and her son who are in together, you would have more arguing. You have more of like everyone's doing a different thing for their own reason, right? So when it's time to push people off and they're like, well, your mom should, like, imagine people being like, yo, your mom should die. She's old as shit. She lived a long life. Yeah. And then you gotta be like, what the fuck? Like, I'll kill you right now. Say that again. I'll kill you right now. Like that could have been amazing.
Was okay. So first of all, the baby gets born. When the baby's born, everything that happens thereafter is due to every death is baby death.
Yes.
The trans woman dies because she comes back to like save them, and then like
she gets stabbed like randomly by the baby dad. The baby dad just randomly kills her.
Who was in full serial killer mode. I love how the druggie said like 2 things, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm a serial killer," like, and just like started killing so many people. But like the trans woman died, and then like the son dies because the mom's like, listen, kill me. Like, don't kill this woman and her baby. This baby was just born. Don't kill them. Like, kill me. I'm an old woman. I've lived a long life. Like, kill me. Protect them. And then, like, the son can't do it. He pushes him on the side to try to kill the woman. And then so his mom kills the son.
That's also not happening, by the way. That's
another death because of the baby.
I'm telling you right now, Kenny, you can kill somebody in front of your mom. She's not stabbing you in the back. It's not happening. I'm gonna tell you right now, neither with my mom. A mother is not doing that. I don't give a fuck. One thing about a mom and her son, the Diddy case ended today. Diddy's mom was at every fucking court hearing. They got this woman on TMZ every day with bad wigs on. That woman saw him whip Cassie's ass on video like the whole world did. We know he's been doing all these freak-offs and nasty shit. And she still absolutely showed up and was like, my son is innocent. I'm going to stick beside him. Because every mom, I don't know a single mom that is actually going to literally murder. Like, it's one thing to turn your son... Okay, it's one thing to turn your son in to the law because they did a crime. That's different. To murder your own son...
It's crazy.
How many stories have you seen of a mom murdering her son to stop somebody else from dying from their son? Like, it just doesn't happen. That just doesn't. You have not heard stories of a mother being like, I killed him because he was a monster. Yeah. It's just not a thing.
I totally believe the mom letting herself die
in
order to save
I think that's absolutely real.
But like, it just becomes so outrageous, and everything thereafter is every single the baby ends up like just like the whole show thereafter just becomes everything's about this baby, and in a way that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, everyone all of a sudden cares about this newborn child more than they care about their own lives, but everyone has been selfish up to this point. That's the linchpin right there. That doesn't make sense. Like all these characters dying for this baby towards the end, like obviously the last 9 were like kill the baby, but the people before the last 9, the way we got to the last 9 was everyone just dying basically because baby. It doesn't make any sense because you guys were all selfish to get to this point, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we have like a moral compass. Like oh, this baby like represents the future or some whatever bullshit that they didn't say, but like trying to make some kind of weird point about it. That it just so contrived, so contrived. I don't understand. Like again, I thought that the trans person was cool because when the red people were going around killing the blue people, I was like, are the blue people just not going to fight back?
Yo, the trans woman, like she got busy. She was fucking people up.
She squared up and just boxed that guy in the hallway. She got sliced one time, but she boxed that guy in the hallway because she's military too. She's
she was in the military.
Yeah, she's ex-military. So I was like, yo, I'm so glad they wrote her character with some agency. Like, don't just make her some fucking...
That's a great word, too. After the babies died, like, everybody loses their agency. Like, no one has agency after the baby's born.
Including the main character.
I love the one scene where the trans woman kills a red shirt, and then another red shirt shows up and sees what happened, and he's like, I'm just going to go. Like, he just leaves. He's like, I'm out of here, bro.
She's also the tallest person in all of the games.
Yeah.
She's like, also I don't necessarily think she's the brawniest person in all of the games, but in terms of just height and stature, she's blatantly, like, towering over most of the other contestants. I wouldn't challenge her either. Also, I don't fucking have military training. I've never been in basic training. I never fucking held an assault rifle. When they did do that coup in season 2, she knew exactly how to fucking she knew how to fucking hold an assault rifle. I don't know how to do any of that shit. I never shot an assault rifle. I don't know how to lock it into my shoulder so I don't fucking throw my shoulder. I don't know how to do any of that. I don't know how to do any of that.
Once again, we get to like, just because this is season 2 and we criticized this in season 2, but it's still very relevant for season 3 because they're just the same season. But when they do the rebellion, multiple people were like, let's just kill the people that are voting to stay in, and then we can just leave.
Which is honestly not a bad solution. Like,
but Gi-hun is like, no, we have to like defeat them. Here's the thing though, right? Who's to say the workers, the people in the pink jumpsuits, you don't know anything about them. So he's happily killing them. They could very well, and they kind of are, be in the same situation that the players are in, and that like they're doing this for money and they're forced to like do these things and they have to like play a role for
it's
money.
A cult. So, you can't leave the cult. You saw what happened when somebody went against them doing their organ donor bullshit.
Yeah. So you're not killing, like you're not getting to the VIPs. You're not killing them. Like, get out of the game, save as many people as you can. But every time he had an opportunity to save people, he went about it in the worst possible way. More people died. And, until the end where everyone's dead. And, like, he doesn't save anyone, ever. The VIPs get away. Also, this was another problem in season 2 and why I think the premise was bad. He's a billionaire, right? And he went and used his money to organize whatever he was going to organize to overthrow these people and take them down. Who gave you the money? You got the money from these people.
Yeah.
They have so much more. They had enough money to give it to you. They have so much more money than you could ever imagine. You with that amount of money that they gave you, it's not going to be enough for you to come and overthrow them. And evidence you did not.
I still think you can do more damage on the outside than on the inside. The entire premise of season 2, which I said should have never happened in the first place, the entire premise of going back in to dismantle it from the inside is fucking stupid. Yep. You can literally do more damage from the outside. This is like, I cannot stress that enough. You just going to the press, telling them about the island, like everything, just talking about exactly what happened, like doing interviews, being like, yo, where the fuck did I get all this money from?
Yeah.
I have, like, you guys, the government, you know how much money I had. You can just check my bank records. Where did I randomly get, trace that fucking deposit, trace it, like, can we just insert some realness for a second?
Look at how much money I had.
Trace this fucking deposit back to the root of where it came from, bro. Where did I get $450 million from? I was literally working a 9-to-5 a month ago, and now all of a sudden I have $450 million that got deposited, and no one's questioning it.
And I was in gambling debt, like, and now I'm just completely
like,
fine.
Why would I, who has $450 million that apparently no IRS in Korea, nobody cares about the fact that this appeared in my account yesterday. No one's questioning me. No IRS is after me. Why would I come forward and say all these crazy things if I could just lay low and live out the rest of my life with all this money? Like, why would I be making this up? Clearly there's some validity to what I'm saying, because I would never be doing this for any other reason than me just telling the truth.
Yep. But no. It's man, that's so bad. Also, like, his name is Woo Seok. I don't, I'm not the best at pronouncing some of these names, but like Woo Sik, basically the gang member. He did more detective work than the detective. When he leaves the boat, he fucking finds out everything. He leaves the boat. He finds the guy's house.
He found everything in 2 seconds.
He finds everything. Like, he just finds fucking everything after he leaves the boat. Like, he's the greatest detective, that gang member. Like,
I also just don't believe that the traitor dude was like this operative dude that can just overthrow multiple people off of a boat and like assassinate people with a screwdriver. He was just this old head assassin dude that just conveniently, like, that storyline, like you said, the boat plot was so bad. That plot was so tired. People are going missing, and no one is like really like, Kenny, if one day we were on a boat and you just weren't there the next day, we're not moving forward until someone tells me what the fuck happened to Kenny. He was on the boat last night, and he's like, we're not going past this. We're not going past this. We're not going past.
He might have drank a little. He drank. He was drinking. He must have just fell off the boat. Like,
that was actually the explanation.
Like, what are you?
They were like, I saw him drinking a couple last night.
He fell off the boat. Fine. But this is a fishing boat, right? Throw the fucking nets out. We're finding Frazier's body.
Yeah.
I want Frazier's body. I'd like.
What
the fuck are we talking about?
We are not moving forward until we find him. We're not.
Like, what are we talking about?
We're not moving
crazy.
forward until we find him. There's no fucking way where you're going to tell me the storm was so bad he got drunk and he fell over. I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. Unreal.
It's so. And then okay, another thing, because I have it in my head and I don't want to lose it. So I'm gonna set this up again. This death games are interesting. They're fun. They're entertaining to watch. And season 1, I think, did a good job of that, while also having story and characters that were like entertaining. Season 2 and season 3 are still death games, but they present themselves to be bigger stories and to do more, and to like, there's like a bigger thing they're trying to achieve. And before I get to my point, I'm going to say this. A couple weeks ago, I saw like an interview with Quentin Tarantino. Everybody knows we love Quentin Tarantino.
Yes. Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction.
Amazing movies.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino in this interview is talking about the difference between film and television, and how in television, I don't remember the exact movie he was talking about, but like in movies or whatever, like cinema is like, it's trying to tell a story or whatever. And like, there's a moment or an experience it's trying to give you that it builds up to. And then he describes this movie where in the entire movie, this person has like this goal, and then like this stuff happens. And it basically is just like this amazing experience that it's trying to deliver to you, and you hit it, it hits you, and you remember it. Right. And I'm butchering up on not being able to give you all the details, but it was weeks ago, and Tarantino's smarter than me. The point is, to compare that to television, he was saying, in most television, at the end of the day, most of them boil down to being soap opera, where it's just like the interpersonal relationships and connections between characters, and like things just happen and happen and happen. And each season might have a villain, but then like that's over, and then you move on to the next season and there's a new villain, and then it's just like the interpersonal relationships, and they kind of just like go on and on and on, and they become less memorable because like it's just interpersonal soap opera stuff.
Right.
For Squid Game, and I feel that with season 2 of Squid Game, so like season 1 of Squid Game, I felt like similar to cinema, had a story to tell and an experience it want to give you. Season 2 and season 3 felt like it wanted to elevate that. It wanted to tell a bigger story. It wanted to like have this revenge plot and this idea that like humanity is good and proving these things. But it didn't deliver on any of that, and then just try to be like, oh, well, we're still just a death game, and then like everyone dies at the end. And so my point is, when you get to the end, nothing is resolved. No story is really told. It's just season 1 again, but worse and more padded out and more filler. And then like one of the only resolutions you get is for a guy whose name I don't know, who has a sick daughter, and like the North Korean girl saves him. This person who gets his happy end, the only character that gets a happy ending, he goes into the game, he gets shot in season 2, but he lives. And then like he has maybe 2 lines of dialogue in season 3. He survives because of the North Korean girl. He makes it home. He has his happy end. But my point is, like, he has a resolution to his story. He's not a character. Like, he's not in the show. He's not in the story. He's not involved. He's a main character that's not a main character. He's not in any of the games. He's not in any of the plots. He's not part of anything that drives the story forward. But then we get to the end and we get his resolution and his happy ending like we're supposed to fucking care. Like, why do I don't even know that. I don't know what number he was. I don't know his name. I don't know his daughter.
When it was happening, I was like, what is going on? Literally, when I watched the end.
Who cares about this guy?
When I was watching the ending, I was like, what is, like, why would I care about this? The only thing I really cared about was what's going to happen with Gi-hun's daughter. The one that he was supposed to go see at the end of season 1 and decided to go back into the game instead, which is so unrealistic again.
Oh my God. And then at the end, the front man gives his daughter his jumpsuit. Like that has any significance.
That is fucking traumatizing as shit too, by the way. It had blood on it. Did you see it? Did you fucking? They didn't dry clean it, bro. They didn't even.
It was a bloody jump,
bro. They didn't dry clean it.
This was your dad's belongings, and it's a bloody jump. Why are you giving me this? This is fucking crazy.
What if she should have just started crying right there? She just started breaking down in tears. God, what a bad ending. What a fucking awful ending. So
like everything. Go ahead.
I mentioned that the first game. Well, it actually wasn't the first. It was the second game. I went in on the jump rope game because the jump rope game was bad.
Oh yeah, we went in on jump rope. Yeah.
Hide and seek was also bad. I think hide and seek was terrible because hide and seek, the way they wrote it was awful. So the room that they were playing hide and seek in, the maze, like the big maze with the stairs up and down and like the rooms and the keys, that shit was so bad to me, specifically because they had multiple scenes that they just didn't need to include where characters were speaking out loud in the open, in intersections, and just like way too much non-stealth activity. You're talking to a person who just got done completing The Last of Us Part 1, the video game, who had to sneak around for 15 out of 20 hours of the fucking game.
Yep.
So the idea of stealth is just like ingrained in my head right now more than it usually would be. And the way they were going about it, I was like, oh, the fucking video game NPCs who like have guns and are just going to kill you. If you fucking, I stepped on glass one time and one guy like was like, I heard something. And just they all started like moving towards me. I was like, yo, like what
and they circle around you and shit.
Bro, I was like, what the fuck? Like I stepped on glass. I didn't think that the glass was real. I was like, it's a video game. I stepped on glass all the time. Like I didn't think it was gonna it made a crunching sound, and one of the guys was like, yo, I heard something over here. And they all started walking towards me. I was like, that is and so these people, these characters in the hide and seek game where your life is on the
your
line.
Actual life.
These people have knives, like super sharp knives, mind you. These people have super sharp knives. They're coming after you. And there's pockets of people having full-on arguments. Having full-on arguments out loud in the open for like 3 minutes at a time.
You could have made me blue or red. That game was unlosable to me. If I was blue, so like red, I'm just finding someone and killing them. Especially with how stupid they are. Like, listen, I'm not a person that wants to kill anybody.
I don't want to. It's not on my mind.
Yeah, I'm this deep into the game, like someone's dying. Yeah. I'm gonna get it done. But let's say I'm blue, right?
To be clear, I voted to leave before this. It's like
I voted to leave multiple times. So if I gotta kill someone, it's like, look, man, I tried to get out of here.
Yeah.
So if I'm blue, right? Let's put myself in the position of blue. It's so easy to win because first of all, once you saw the layout, like you go, like there was doors that led to mazes that led to doors. How in the fuck are you finding me?
Yeah.
Like you could go in the doors, into mazes, into doors, into mazes, and like the chances of someone even catching up to you and finding you is crazy. Also, I noticed it's so funny. There was all these doors. When the Reds got in there, they were like, no one was checking handles. Like there was multiple doors they just walked by and like didn't check the handle.
Yeah, because they said that once a door is open, it's open forever.
Yeah.
When they explained
that,
I said, why wouldn't
I'm checking every handle?
Yeah, if you were red, you would just literally check every single handle.
Every handle. Also, like the Reds just like ran in random directions like idiots. Like that would have been me, Frazier, and two other guys we met. And we're like, all right, we got this. And we fucking walk around. We like methodically check everything and then like move through it. But let's say we're blue, right? Moving around, etc. Let's talk about the pregnant woman, the old lady, and the trans lady. They eventually get into a room, okay? Pregnant woman's water breaks. I don't know if you guys know this. When your water breaks, the baby isn't born. Like it doesn't just happen when someone's water breaks, usually they have enough time to drive all the way to the hospital.
Yeah.
Be in the hospital, do all this stuff. Usually the baby's not born for hours.
Yeah, usually.
Sometimes days.
Usually it does take actual hours. I think my mom was in labor. My mom was in labor with me for 36 hours.
So her water
really
breaks.
Bad labor.
And then she gives birth, okay? So that's already crazy. But here's something you got to notice about the doors. The doors open in, right? They had 3 bodies. If I'm them, I know I can't relock the door. All 3 of us put our fucking back to this door. You don't open the door. Like, that door never needs to be opened. You can just sit in there until the time runs out. There's 3 of us here.
Yeah.
We just all put our body against the door. You literally can't open this door.
Yeah.
Once again, once you do that, once you, like, go into these doors, like, I'm getting, like, 6 blue shirts all getting in the room, and we're like, all right, we're just fucking holding our back to the door, we win. Like, you just wait 30 minutes, you win. It's not that fucking hard.
Honestly, yeah, you're right. And if you're red, you just, again, get a group of people, and you're like, all right, well, we're just going to go around as a group, and we're going to zero diff every time we see a blue person. Like, all right, Kenny, that's yours. Like, there you go. And just, all right, now I'm going to get mine. Like, it was bad. Then the whole splitting a kill thing, The splitting a kill thing was bullshit. I was like, so that was half a kill? How do you guys even know that was half a kill?
Yeah, they're just making
like you guys are wasting potential bodies to to do science at a time when your life is on the line. Like they were performing experiments, which is like, I'm not chancing that we just wasted a kill because the cameras couldn't tell who killed the person actually. Like one of us factually did do the killing blow, but the cameras don't know which one because we're both stabbing the person. So they like could just say, well, that kill is forfeit, but they're not announcing that. You don't know that it's a half kill. They didn't, and unless I didn't hear it, they didn't tell them that
there was no confirmation that was a half kill.
Yeah, there was no confirmation that if you killed another person. Right. So I'm like, why are we wasting potential like victims for science? Like, why are we doing that right now? That didn't make any sense. And then the one fat dude covered himself in blood and laid down, and then coincidentally, the crazy guy who's on drugs came down a hallway and started like stabbing up dead bodies, which he never did at any other point until that exact moment. I was like, so
and then didn't stab him. Yeah, the one dead body that wasn't a dead body doesn't stab that.
Yeah, the one dead body in the entire maze that's not a dead body, right? Like he doesn't stab him just coincidentally. It was like this is what I mean by contrived. Like so much of it was so contrived to get to this exact endpoint of like that guy who you hate needs to be in the very end so he can like all the NPCs at the end he can just like tell them what to do, and so that they could do a tug of war game. Like, why were they doing a tug of war with Gi-hun and the baby at the end where they were all holding on to, like, suit jackets they tied together? I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, that was a fucking
I thought he was going to cut it and they were going to all fall backwards and fall off. That's what I thought. I was like, this is going to be awful. He's going to slice it, even though they could literally see him slice. Like, he sliced it in front of them.
Yeah. In the last game, right, after baby dad gets the pole and, like, kills the kid with the pole, like... that pole, I'm never letting go of that pole. Like I'm keeping that pole. Like like that pole's never like because they had to get another pole when they got like I'm never letting go of this pole. This is crazy. And I like when I tell you y'all are all getting this fucking pole, and I'm going first. By the way, I'm getting to the next pole before you do because I got this one.
Right.
I'm gonna start swinging that shit. I'm Killick from Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start swinging this shit. I'm going. I go across the bridge first. Yeah, I'm getting this next fucking pole.
I'm throwing it off.
None of y'all.
I'm taking the next pole.
None of y'all are getting this fucking pole.
I'm taking the next pole. I'm throwing it off.
I'm running shit. Yeah. I run it.
Yeah, honestly, none of it made sense from just a strategic standpoint. Everybody failed the strategy aspect of this shit. Their strategy was like, oh, we can't kill Gi-hun and the baby because then one of us 6 will have to die. When did all of a sudden you guys cared about a group of people specifically?
Yeah.
Like I like how at the very end, coincidentally, 6 is the magic number that we just cannot ever go below. Like we can.
Like, this is good. This works for us.
Yeah, like they made the magic 6 at the end, and they just was like, yo, we can't possibly. Man, push him and that fucking baby off. We'll figure out who's dying in the next round.
By the fucking way, because. In season 2, I think Gi-hun did mention early in season 2 that he had money and just no one cared, right? But let's fast forward, right? Because we're dealing with new circumstances. Let's fast forward. They all know he won the game.
Right.
The circumstances are new. We're down to 9 people. They're upset that the baby's getting a cut. Okay, guys, if there's 6 of you left at the end, this is how much money you get, right? Okay, I will give you all of that money plus $1 million.
Yeah.
And like you get that. You get the money that you want to get for surviving with 6 people. Me and the baby live. Like Gi-hun at no point, because he does this thing where he has an opportunity to kill everyone and he doesn't do it because like the idea is supposed to be because he gets given the knife and he talks to In-ho and then In-ho does this whole thing and then as he's leaving, In-ho goes, by the way, do you still have faith in humanity? That's supposed to be like his dig at him. Like, look at everything you've done. Like you've lost your faith in humanity, haven't you? So then he goes, and the idea is that Gi-hun is going to kill all these people while they're sleeping, and you get the flashback that Il-nam did this to In-ho, and In-ho chose to kill everyone. And then so In-ho's watching this, he's invested in watching this because he wants to, I guess, prove to himself that he made the right choice.
Right.
And he wants to see Gi-hun do it as well. And then Gi-hun doesn't do it, and that affects In-ho in some way because I guess it proves that Gi-hun is a better person than In-ho, even though Gi-hun has already killed a kid. But here's the thing. We're in a situation. So now him deciding not to kill all these sleeping people, the idea is supposed to be, I still have faith in humanity.
Right.
Okay. This humanity that you have faith in, these 7
humanity wakes up on all bullshit.
They wake up and they want to kill a baby. Okay,
Humanity wakes up on all bullshit, bro. Humanity wipes the crust out of its eyes and was like, "Oh yeah, let's fucking murder the baby." Like it fucking wakes up on bullshit.
It's crazy to me that you don't at any point say, "Listen, guys, I want to remind you, I've won this game. The amount of money you want, I will just give you. Let's live." Because what they want to do is they want to prove that we just want one person left to get all of the money. Let's prove to them here, 400 people have died, but let's prove here at the end that like we're not going to go down this path. We're going to save this baby. We're going to save each other. If you guys need money, I will give you the money. I don't fucking care. I came back into this game. I don't need money. Like he didn't even try and attempt to like make a bid to their humanity, to plead to them, to maybe not fucking kill baby.
I just like how he died and left the baby to be trafficked. Like I just
died and left the baby. Like it's crazy.
He left the baby with the worst kind of people so that it could just be trafficked. Like you don't know that this fucking baby is going to be taken care of when you die. You have no idea what they're going to do with it. And honestly, if somebody said, "Well, how about you just guess what they're going to do?"
Yeah.
Just like you think they're going to do something good or something bad. Guess. Good. No, dead.
Yeah. Like you already know these are the, like, in your opinion, think about it. The reason why you are back here is because in your opinion, these are the worst people in the world. These are horrible people that view humans as horses.
Bro.
Remember, we are not horses. We are human, right?
They wrapped the baby up in a green outfit that said 222 on it. Like these are the fucking worst people that have ever been born.
These people, they made this baby number 222.
They wrapped the baby up in green and called it 222 and said the baby's got to make it across the fucking bridge too.
So in your opinion, the way to save the baby is leave the baby with the worst people on the planet?
They said the baby's got to make it across the bridge too. The baby's the baby that can't even crawl yet. The baby
Remember, they put the baby down. They put the baby down on the bench. They're like, we're gonna go crawl. They're like, no, baby's got to go too. What? What do you mean baby's got to go too? Like,
baby is now 222.
We're talking about the craziest people, and you decided in all of your wisdom.
Baby's got to go too. Baby, we just decided. The fucking the guy's on a walkie-talkie with the gun. He's like, but sir. Okay, sir. An order's an order, I guess. Yeah, apparently the baby's got to cross. Apparently,
that baby's got to move.
The baby's got to cross the bridge too. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? And that's who you left. You left the baby with them.
With them. That's who you left the baby with those people.
Yo.
So it's just that in every opportunity. There was multiple opportunities for him to make the right decision, and it's not a hindsight decision either. It's not like I watched all of it and then I was like, in hindsight, he could have done this. No, as it was happening, It's like, hey, this is the dumbest decision you could make. Like in a list of decisions, pause the tape. What's the dumbest thing you can do? This one, okay, he did it. Like every time.
Yeah.
Every time. The dumbest decision, he picked that one. Oh yeah, that's the one I'm.
I also don't like when they first threw him back in the room. They like delivered him in the casket, or whatever, and he's like, "Why did you leave me alive? Why did you let me live?" Like, what is going on?
It was so cringe.
Yeah, and honestly, that whole thing was just cringe to me.
And then his absolute like rage at the kid that didn't bring the ammo back. Like, I get it. Like, he didn't bring the ammo back, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, he's a deserter. It happens.
But like at the end of the day, like, understand the position you're in. He's a kid. He's scared, and like that was a bad plan. It was a bad, like, you're an idiot. Why'd you think that? I don't know. You could have just killed the O's and you guys would have went home. There would have been 200 people still alive.
Yeah. He had so many opportunities to save people, and literally every single player that entered that game died. Every single one. All 456 of them died. Every single player that entered that game died.
And here's the other thing, right? I could see people making the argument like, oh, you're just mad that it wasn't a happy ending. I don't care about happy endings.
Yeah,
I care about good writing. It's not that, like, I wanted there to be a happy ending. It's that when you tell a story, there's a point to telling the story, right? So I want you to ask yourself, what was the point? What was the purpose of season 2 and 3? Going into it, the excitement, the draw of it was, we're going back for revenge, right? That's the draw. That's what they sold it to you as. They sold you as, like, we're going back in, we're getting revenge, we're doing all this stuff. None of that happens.
Yeah, none of it.
Nothing is achieved. There's no progress made on any front.
These rich people are just going to start another Epstein Island somewhere else. Like, okay, they lost.
And everyone dies.
Bro, they had enough explosives. They had enough explosives on that island to wipe it out completely, which means that they literally planned for this to happen at some point, which also means they have another island. Probably
have another island.
It's already ready to go. I bet there's an island that is already ready to go.
I didn't read the end of it, by the way, as like the Korean one was shut down and like they just opened up the American one.
I don't.
I read it as they're just doing this all over the world all the time. Anyway.
Yeah,
like this is just the thing they're doing everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like this is the thing they do. Like they have an American one, a Korean one.
The American one's just going to take place down the shore from Florida somewhere. Like
like this isn't like some magical bullshit. So it's just, I guess there was no actual story told. There was no purpose to season 3 or 2. No new information. Like just
they just kind of wanted to kill the main character.
No value.
I feel like a big part of season 3 was to get rid of the main character.
Yeah, because I also feel like part of it was just trying to set up for America's Squid Game.
Yeah, well, that too. Definitely kill the main character, and then let Netflix try to do a money grab with future seasons of it, like a spinoff of the show, because it's their biggest show ever. So they're trying to just milk it for as much as possible, which is what this whole season 2 and 3 was in the beginning anyway. It was a money grab.
But if season 2 was just, if you take 4, 5, 6 out of it, you give him his ending, because I also think, once again, it's not that I'm looking for a happy ending. I'm just looking for an ending that makes sense. I think as a human that was in debt and loved his daughter and felt regret for not being able to spend time with his mom in her last moments, I just think that it doesn't make sense for a parent to then feel the regret of losing their parent and feel that pain that is now a millionaire. I don't think it makes sense for that person to not go and be with his daughter and spend time with his child and try to ease that regret and ease that pain that he lost, right? And so, first of all, I just don't think that makes sense. So give the human an ending that makes sense for a human. If you want to do season 2 of Squid Game, just do season 2 with a whole new cast. You can dive into new aspects. You can take Gi-hun out of it, still let the detective be a detective, and have like...
I was literally... Wow, we are so in sync. As you were talking, like before you even said what you're saying right now, my exact thought was Squid Game should just be an anthology.
Yep.
It should just be a completely new cast of people. You can have some characters returning, like the front man. He could be a returning character. You know, certain characters can be returning because they're a part of the game. But Gi-hun,
and then through those returning characters, you can have threads of an overarching story.
Yes.
Yep. Go ahead.
No, like you're literally exactly what I was thinking. I was like, man, Squid Game will work so much better as an anthology than trying to convince me that a person who won the game, who's been traumatized by the game, who has fucking depression and sleep apnea and all these other things that he can't deal with, like just PTSD. You're trying to convince me that same person is going to go head first back into the situation. I don't believe it. And realistically, I don't think you could have written a good script. Like, I don't think it was possible to really write a good script for Gi-hun once he went back into the game. Because it's so irrational.
There's not. You have to tell a story from the perspective of some returning characters, but have a whole new cast of people in the game. And then, like, if you just want us to, like, show us games and us being interested in the death game, and then, like, there's this overarching story happening, and, like, maybe the detective is trying to find it and put it to, like put an end to it or whatever. But, because here's the other thing. I don't know how many of you know people that were in the military, but they're not necessarily excited to go back to war.
No, they're
Most people that come home from the military have PTSD. They don't want to go back. Most of them.
My grandfather literally fought in the Vietnam War, and so the last thing he would ever want to do is go back into the Marines.
It is completely unrealistic for someone who felt this. Like, he would have PTSD. He would be traumatized for the rest of his life.
Yep.
He would not willingly go back when he's now in, because most people, when they come home from war, by the way, they're not millionaires. He would not be a millionaire and say, fuck it, I'm never going to see my daughter again. I'm going to go back into this battlefield that traumatized me. Like, that's just not happening. You'd be as soon as you see someone die in red light, green light, he'd be like shell-shocked again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't be able to deal with that. Like, it's just, and once again, it's a story, it's fiction, it's telling a story, but it's just telling a bad one.
Yeah, it's not a good story. Like, if it was telling a story that was believable on some level or actually has something to say, I wouldn't be so pissy about it. But the fact that it just doesn't really have a real perspective that makes any logical sense, like, suspension of disbelief is one thing, but come on, I feel like at a point you're just spitting in my face.
Yeah.
Like, at a point it's not even suspension of disbelief anymore. It's like, bro, this doesn't make any sense.
Yep. You give you have a whole story with this North Korean girl, which was like somewhat interesting, but then like it's involved with this guy who has nothing to do with the entire story, and like he gets this happy ending, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like so random, like nothing happens. It's just, side note though, I haven't played Fortnite in months, right?
Yeah,
years. I think like a year I haven't played Fortnite, and because Squid Game, like the Squid Game outfits are out in Fortnite right now, and I do love the Squid Game outfits. That fucking jumpsuit is sick as shit. And I still had like virgin bucks in Fortnite that I hadn't spent.
Wait, what? What did you? Are they called that?
They're called V-Bucks. So I call them virgin bucks. You call them virgin bucks.
Why, Kenny? Why do you call them virgin bucks?
It's because it's you can put it together.
I did.
But so I still had like money left on my account, so I booted Fortnite up just to buy the black hoodie with the pink zipper and shit, and like the black boots with it looks sick. It's a sick. Listen, Squid Game looks sick, and I was like, I don't really play Fortnite anymore, but if I play Fortnite, because one of my friends was like, I can't believe you didn't buy the Goku outfit. Like, you love Dragon Ball Z, you didn't buy Goku. But from my perspective, it was like, well, I don't want to play with Goku using a gun. I think that's stupid. Like, I have no interest in Goku using an AK-47. Yeah. I think that's dumb. So as much as I love Goku, I don't want the Goku out. Like, I'm not gonna, like, the Goku skin's not going to get me. And I feel that way for a bunch of skins. But the Squid Game skin in the jumpsuit with the mask on, that shit's dope. Yeah. So if I'm playing a gun game and I'm killing people, I want to be wearing that. That shit is sick. Anyway, that's like the best part about Squid Game season 2 and 3.
You get to spend virgin bucks on fucking Squid Game outfit in Fortnite. Just completely, the best part. Completely unrelated to anything. Well, I don't really have anything else to say, so I want to wrap this one up here. I think we yapped enough about how awful this season was. Good riddance. I hope they do not continue with this storyline at all. The American one, I have no faith in whatsoever. I just don't think that Squid Game needs to continuously be a thing. And if you're going to do Squid Game again, my only real recommendation, because I know that they're not going to stop because it's such a cash grab, make the games good.
Make it good, make it entertaining, make the characters believable. Like, the story just needs to actually line up to be somewhat understandable. I don't know. These
last 3 games were so bad to me. All 3 of them were just so not memorable. They're not like, they didn't give me that feeling of like, oh, like, God.
Not even just, so the games, but also something else that I just thought of. I know we're wrapping up, but like, the writing had no complexity. Think about how much time we spent on talking about how interesting it was that the old man, when you go back and look at all the games, the old man was never in danger.
Right.
And like how cool that was.
That
like,
was cool.
There was care and thought put into the writing of season 1, where you go back and you analyze it from different perspectives.
And how all the games are on the walls.
Yeah, and like how everything lines up and how it works and how it all comes together. There's none of that. There's no like underlying writing in 2 and 3. It's just like, here, this is in your face, this is what it is. And there's no depth or complexity to anything. It's just like, this is in your face, and it's like written stupidly, and the decisions don't really, like in season 1, there was a vote. They left. They actually left. Yeah. Like, there was a vote and they left. And then some people realized their lives still sucked. They were still in debt, and they were like, fuck it. And like, they went back, which I think that is more believable than every single game you get a chance to vote, and every single time you watch people die and then you leave. Because I don't think they got money. Because in this time, it was like, if they vote to leave, they all still got the money. You can vote to leave.
Which is insane that they were saying no after being able to split all that money.
But when they left in the first time, there were still like hundreds of people. And I don't think they got the money. Or if they did, they only got a little bit of money. Like, there wasn't that much money.
So many people.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it's just, I feel like the depth, the complexity, the intrigue in the writing wasn't there. Like, when you had the games, how interesting they were, the way the marble game played out. And when Gi-hung ended up portraying the old man, and it was like this heartfelt, heartbroken scene where like,
I actually
there's
felt
tears involved.
Too. Yeah.
Dude, that is a very strong emotional scene.
Because I also thought that the guy literally died too when they took him and shot him.
And when you find out he's still alive, it's fucking crazy. The writing is so good. Like, I'm not saying it's the greatest show ever.
But it was genuinely good though. It was genuinely good.
The writing is so good in season 1, and you have none of those moments, none of that intrigue. There's no care or thought put into 2 and 3. It's literally just like, this is the thing, and it just feels like mindless entertainment that wasn't entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I can say I genuinely did not enjoy it. And I want them to make the games more interesting if they do it again, because I think that's the only thing that could really resurrect this. And I think that it should be an anthology. That's the main thing, which I think that this show just needs to follow different groups of 456 people and a different main, you can have a different main character each time, or different main characters. It does.
That's all the show works.
It does. You know what I mean? I genuinely think
group of people every time.
Yep. I think if they followed the girl character the next time, like literally like a teenage girl or something, like somebody who's like 17, a high school student, and she's a girl, but she's extremely clever. like that. In my head, I'm already imagining a really cool season where like she uses like her wit and her looks and stuff like that to kind of like get through the games. She's very manipulative and things like that. And like she was not that great academically, but then she's like really, really good in other like street ways that kind of get her through the game. And then like she has like a penchant for violence too that is like people don't see it coming, so she's murderous. Like just something. Just like make interesting characters. You get to play with 456 characters, bro.
Yeah.
And these ones just weren't interesting.
Somehow we get to the final 10 and like none of them have names.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know any of these people. I genuinely, and I feel so bad, I genuinely was like, I don't know. This group of final 6, I was like, who are these people? The people who are tug of warring with the jacket, I was like, I genuinely don't know who they are.
Yeah, you don't know any of them except the old fat man.
Yes, and he spoke for all of them. He just spoke for all of them. So I was like, oh, so I don't need to know them either. Like they made it a point that I don't need to know them.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. It was bad.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. Let us know what you thought about Squid Game Season 3, the final one. Hopefully, in terms of at least this one, because we know there's going to be an American one. They clearly alluded to it. They would not have paid a real actress to come in at the end. But let us know how you felt about this season. Did you feel like it was also pretty bad? Did you have a hard time getting through it? Did it kind of drag for you like it dragged for us? Was it a tough battle? Or did you just genuinely enjoy it? Or did you find it to be fine? Did you think it wasn't that bad? Like, I want to know your thoughts.
One more piece of bad writing. The detective who spent the last multiple years of his life trying to find his brother and find the games and do all this other stuff. When you get the flash forward of 6 months later or whatever it is, he's just like happy. He's just like living his life happy with like his friend. And he's like, by the way, he hasn't achieved anything.
Right.
Like nothing has been achieved. He hasn't seen his brother. Like he's achieved nothing.
They're
and
like just in a car driving around and he's like, yo, can you put on 1,000 miles again? Yeah. And just like they're just like living life. Like nothing happened.
Nothing was like, he's not still trying to like figure it out. He's not still trying to find, just like, no, just life's good. Life's good.
Yeah. He's just like,
he's dead. Life's good.
I miss you, and I need you. Like
he's jamming Who I Smoke. Like he's
Who I Smoke. Literally that. I could spend another hour literally just shitting on it. And I don't want to do that with my time, honestly. So let's just know
that there's more that we could have covered that I just didn't like. Just how right here as we're ending, I thought of that.
Yes,
there's more that was terrible.
Same.
But we got to end at some point.
And also just. To be honest, we are just being completely negative about this. I do think it's warranted, though. Yeah. Like, I don't think that.
No, there's nothing good. There's nothing good to say.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't feel
Demon
bad.
Slayer, you win. Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer, you win.
Demon Slayer wins.
Yeah, this did not have really good redeeming qualities. Okay, so a couple things before we get out of here. Of course, I'm gonna do the Patreon shout outs with Kenny, but also don't forget on August 16th, 2025, we have the 1K. That is for people at the party member or higher tier on our Patreon. So if you're in that tier, don't worry. You don't have to do anything. You automatically have entry into that tournament. For people who are interested in playing in the 1K, it is $1,000 cash tournament. There's no frills or bullshit. It's just straight up money, which we have given away multiple times on this channel, multiple times on our Patreon, our Discord server. We've given away thousands upon thousands of dollars in the last 3 years. And so this is no different from that. You just need to be at the party member tier or higher in order to play in this tournament. This is basically a celebration tournament for the people on our Patreon who have been our biggest supporters over the years. So if you want to play, all you have to do is join the party member or higher tier. And that's it. Like there's no other caveats or anything if you want to play in that tournament. August 16th, 2025. So that's happening. It's Edison format, dueling book, Swiss, 50 minutes, like a tournament. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. You guys have played the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments before. All right. Let's give a shout out to Nova Leo, Stand Ready for My Arrival Worm, Xavier Swift, This Ain't God, This Is Stanley Earl, The Sultan of Slot, Trapping Out the Squid Game House, Vincenzo, Dallas Bailey, KJ, How Much Media You Got, Sarah Maria, Alex Ahern, FC Campa, Big Bora, Gores in My Prison Pocket, Sugal, Vicky Venomont, Elijah Barfall, Tyler Jadeo, Volvita Mega Monarch. Subscribe to Connie's Not a Chef on YouTube. Yes, I actually watched the video that you posted in the Discord too, the one where she made the noodles with spicy chicken. I was like, that looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So definitely subscribe to Connie's Not a Chef on YouTube. Janitor 215, Joshua Carroll, Eric Chai, Brian Moore. This Ain't God, this is City Councilman Eric Mays. And then we have
Tim Bailey at home with Real Housewives of Atlanta, Majin Labubu, B-Dog23, a gloomy lady, a big robot thing, a talking raccoon, and a little goblin pervert. I don't know what that's a reference to.
No clue.
But shout out to him. Impoister, Tyler Frazier, Sasha Egger, Daniel Anderson, Deroa, Chicken Toast Strudel, Jordan Eastman, Robert Light, Clanger, Harsh Kumar, HT19, Gregory Calmering. That time was backpedal though. Mike and John, Frago, Anthony Japov, Michael Zhang, Tyler, Chris Louis, Bob Cuddy, Luis Suarez, The Hopeless One, Nicholas Cook. And before I read this last one, I just wanted to say thank you to Enraged Peacock for shouting out Connie. If you guys don't know, that's my wife. And yeah, she has a YouTube channel where she's, it's called Connie's Not a Chef, where she's cooking and she's making really, really good food. And yeah, it's just like a cool little cooking channel if you want to check that out. If you're interested in it, if you have no interest in it, you don't got to go give it a pity watch. If you're actually interested in like cooking and whatnot, go check it out.
Yep. And with that being said, guys,
and then finally, Zuku Senryu.
Oh, fuck. Zuku, my bad. I didn't know there was another name. Then he started giving fucking, you confused me, damn it. Anyway, shout out to Zuku. Zuku's the latest member. He joined with the goal of doing replay analysis with me. So we have been doing that. And that's one of the benefits that you get. He's at the main character tier. So for people who are interested in that type of stuff, make sure you read over the tiers so you know how they work if you're just curious about that. But as I always say, guys, do the things that make you happy, including shitting on Squid Game Season 3. It was pretty awful. And that's really all I got to say. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.